Good morning, guys. So I don't even know the last time I talked to you guys. It's been a while. We are back in Mexico. I got back to Mexico, I think it was about 2 weeks ago maybe, and we will be here for a while. I know the weather in the UK is still pretty good, but we're here because obviously it's going into autumn, into cold season, and I am not the biggest fan of the cold. So yeah, we are back and we have some very exciting news. So I am prepping. Today is my first day of prep. My competition is in November, which means it's an extremely short prep, literally under 8 weeks. It's currently the 12th of September 2023, and that means, yeah, we literally have like 8 weeks until I compete, and my competition is in the States. The reason I've decided to do this competition and compete this year is because there's only one natural pro show in my category each year, and so if I miss out on, I guess, this show, then obviously I'd have to wait another whole year to do a natural pro show. And my coach has actually told me already that a lot of the athletes, even though it is a natural pro show, will be like cycling off stuff, which is kind of sad, but you know, I don't really mind. Obviously it's not my thing, I wouldn't do that, each to their own. But we are going to enter this show and it will be my pro debut. I am a little bit scared, to say the least, because I haven't got a routine. Obviously we've got 8 weeks to bring in the physique. I've got to work on the posing. I'm in Mexico prepping. There's a lot. I've got to get a bikini. I've got to sort out a fitness suit, everything. I've got to sort out accommodation when I'm in the US, and so yeah, there's a lot. But it's going to be super exciting, super fun. I have got a new coach, and the main reason for that is my old coach is amazing, but we're very much like friends, and I think for me it's better to have someone who I don't really, you know so much as a friend. So we have started with my new coach. I got my plan through last night, so I'll be starting today. We're on 45 minutes of cardio Stairmaster each day, 15k steps, 5 weight training sessions each week. Obviously I'll do my handstand sessions pretty much every single day as per usual, and calories are going to be low. We've got 8 weeks. So unfortunately there's no starting high, there's no starting with like no cardio. We literally have to go like straight in, and my coach said if we're not 100% every single day, then we're not going to make it. So I've got no option. I'm excited and we're going to do it. So we have got a leg session today, glute and hamstring focused. I'm actually going to go and get in some of my steps now, and then I'll do my leg session kind of mid-morning, and then I've got Stairmaster to do, so that'll either be straight after my leg session if I have time. I've got some client calls and things, so if I don't get time, then I'll do it when I do my handstand session later. I will run you through all my meals and things when I get back. So I've got, I think it's 5 meals a day, and then I've got training day diet and a non-training day diet, and then that's pretty much it really. I'm a little bit scared, as I said, but I'm super happy that I've made this decision. Like, I felt like I really wanted to still compete, but obviously it's quite difficult when, yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited that I made the decision and we're going for it. So bring on the next 8 weeks. I'm going to try and vlog as much as I possibly can. I'm going to open my blinds because we shall see what the day is like outside. Have done a nice little yoga stretch. I had my coffee this morning. The weather's been really beautiful actually here. So I'm swing back. Oh, I'm in towels outside. It's easy towel. And it's like 26 degrees. So yeah, we're gonna crack on with this walk. I'll probably listen to podcasts. I listened to a really interesting podcast yesterday. It was on breathing, and actually I think this could be the reason my sleep is so bad. Someone has mentioned, actually I think it was my brother mentioned to me that maybe I have sleep apnea, and maybe I do, honestly guys, because last night I was thinking more about nasal breathing. The whole podcast was kind of about how bad it is that we're breathing through our mouth all the time, and how through evolution and foods we're eating and the things that we're doing, our face structure has kind of changed, and we're producing so much like CO2, or there's a lot of CO2 in environments that we're in from like breathing out, and it's really, really bad, and it's really bad for our brain. And anyway, cut a long story short, last night I was focusing on breathing through my nose, trying to close my mouth, and I slept probably one of the best I've slept in a long time. So I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna try and implement that, as well as I would like to start implementing like some kind of breathing practices, meditation. I keep saying this, but maybe this is the time. Now I'm prepping, like it's a good time to kind of recenter, refocus yourself. So yeah, we're gonna get on with this walk, probably listen to a podcast, a different podcast or an audiobook as I normally do, and then we will go and head for training. I will maybe take you guys along my training session with you. Bit of a nightmare, guys. So I was on my walk, came back from my walk, and I thought I'd pick some things up from the supermarket, which is next to me. I thought at the time, I was like, do I trust my Apple Pay on my phone? Because when I'm in an international country, it often declines because it maybe doesn't recognise obviously the transaction. Anyway, I got like a full bag, and then I got to check out and it declined. Anyway, so I had to head back up to my flat, get money, cash, and then head back out. And here we are, but I've got to leave for training any minute now, so a little bit behind schedule, but I'll show you what I got. So I got honey, these are all things in my meal plan, Romanian lettuce, chicken breasts, oh I feel like they're a bit leaky, oil, coffee pods, because I'd run out of those this morning, more oats, I'm always buying endless oats, mixed berries, so they're for the freezer, for like my oats and my cream of rice, but I don't think I'll be able to get cream of rice here. Wraps, they were meant to be big ones, but they didn't, well they did have one pack of big ones, but I thought, well, if I get little ones I'll just make sure they're the same calories. And then egg whites, back to my favourite, not so favourite, egg whites. And last but not least, chocolate. Actually, is there one more thing left? No, chocolate. So I'm going to put that away and then head to train my leg session. I thought I'd take you through some of my new leg session. So I started off with the laying hamstring curl. After that I actually moved on to the hip thrusts. It's a little bit of a different setup with the hip thrusts in my gym. I use in Playa del Carmen compared to where I am at home. So we have like a glute builder when I'm at home, so it's a little bit easier. It's not ideal, the back position, actually with these hip thrusts, but still I'm focusing on the time and the tension, the glute squeeze, and also engaging the hamstrings as well. And I normally feel this exercise most in the glutes and the hamstrings. I only filmed like the top set of some of the exercises that I did. I didn't film all of them, as I said, but that was the second exercise I did. After that I moved on to barbell RDLs. So again, I wasn't going really heavy today, but I was trying to focus on that time under tension, really feeling that contraction in the hamstrings, driving up obviously into the position, squeezing the glutes, driving up with the chest, and then slow on the eccentric movement as the barbell lowers down to the ground. After the barbell Romanian deadlifts, I moved on to the seated calf raise machine. Now calves are not always something that I remember to do, but now they're in my program I will be doing them obviously every session that they're in my program. And I actually really like this machine. There's this machine, and then the machine I really like in my gym back home is also, I think it might be the same machine as this, and I do quite like the standing calf raise machine as well. Alternatively, I used to do calf raises with the Smith machine. So I used to put a bench under the Smith machine and then obviously add weights on the Smith machine, and I found that was quite a nice way to do calf raises. Some machines you'll find you'll probably get on with, other machines maybe not quite so much. It's very much like individual to that person, but I find I get really good contraction in the calves in this exercise. And then the last exercise I filmed from this session is the seated abductor machine. So this was actually one of my last exercises in the session. Prior to kind of my new training program, this was normally the first or second exercise I did as more of an activation exercise. So obviously in today's session, it was a bit more of like a post fatigue exercise. And they've got two different adductor machines in the gym that I train in. So this one, actually, you'll find the foot placement is a lot further forwards than the other one, where it's a little bit closer to the body. And, you know, I guess it's good to mix things up a little bit. I do find it's quite difficult to stay in this seated position. Sometimes your body kind of comes forward on the seat, but I still like that exercise and that machine. And that was all the exercises that I filmed from the session. There are a couple more, like the seated hamstring curl. My leg session, which you will have probably seen, it was a good leg session. It was a hamstring glute focused leg session, a little bit of calves in there, which when I train myself I often forget to train calves. I do train them sometimes but I would say it's not the most consistent thing in my training, and that's on my plan. Obviously I'm going to train it, and I've just come off a client call, which was very good as always, and now I'm going to go and do a client consultation. So that is the plan for now, and then we're going to get back, probably do a little bit of editing, and then head to do my next session. I didn't do my cardio post workout, just I didn't really have time today, so I will do that in my handstand session, which means I have 45 minutes of Stairmaster. It feels like a lot because I haven't been doing it the last couple of weeks, but it'll be fine. We'll get used to it. I'm going to take my headphones just in case. I'm going to a cafe to do this consultation, and that is, yeah. I was at 3:15 and I just signed up a really lovely new client, so I'm very excited to help her with her handstands and flexibility. I'm actually about to go and train my second session. Well, I train it normally about 4. Today I have got my cardio, as I said, so I've got 45 minutes of Stairmaster. I think I've got to keep my heart rate 130 to 150 beats per minute, so I'll wear my Apple Watch. I've also got like another 5,000 steps to get in today, so I've done like 10,000, maybe over actually. I need to double check, which is quite good. And then we've got handstand session to do as well, so I'm going to go and get those done. So far I've had 3 meals. I maybe will just do a full day of eating like tomorrow because I didn't really film them today. So I will show you my exact meal plan. There's a lot of eggs and a lot of egg whites, which I need to learn to cook really, really well because otherwise they're going to be very, very boring. But then we've got like chicken and veg for some of them. We've got oats. We've got cream of rice, which I don't have. I don't have cream of rice. So today I substituted it for oats, but I may get some. If I can't get cream of rice here, maybe like Cocoa Pops or something like that, just because it's a little bit quicker absorbing after workout, and that's when I will have that meal. And then I can't remember what my last couple of meals are, but probably chicken or beef, veg, rice, that kind of thing. My calories are low today. I've had, so far, I don't actually know how many calories, 3 meals worth of calories, but it's quite high volume, which is good, because the overall calorie intake is like 1,744 on a training day, which is probably about 1,000 calories less than what I've been having. So I'm fine at the moment because often I don't eat that much in the day. I feel like as soon as I go to sleep and go, oh my god, I'm so hungry, because that's what normally catches my body up when I kind of like stop. But it's been quite kind of an on the go day today. I did also have a quick waxing, so upper lip waxing, which is not the nicest thing to have. Well, it's okay, it's fine, it takes like 2 seconds. So yeah, we're gonna go and train now, and I don't know if I'll bring you guys along to do some handstands, maybe not. And I need to start thinking about this routine, guys. I really need to start thinking about this routine. Because we've got, as I said, less than 8 weeks to make it up. To make it up, not just make it up. I really probably need to make it up in the next like 2 weeks or so, because then I need at least, 5-6 weeks where I can focus on perfecting it. I'm sure my energy will probably start to decrease as I'm getting leaner, food is coming down, expenditure is increasing. So ideally it'd be nice to have a routine done in a couple of weeks, but from past experience I know I always leave it to the last minute, especially as I always leave prep to the last minute. So it's on my shoulders, but we will work well under pressure. We've got this. Good morning, guys. We are on day 2 of prep. Yesterday was a good first day, so obviously it was just a case of doing my training, getting my steps, getting my cardio, and sorting out my food. So I've now got pretty much, I think, all the things I need in. Today I'm actually going to do meal prep on chicken. So I'm just going to cook a load of chicken. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh the chicken before I cook it, because in the meal plan it's like the raw weight. And then I'll weigh it after I cook it, and then I'll kind of portion it out. I'm very sleepy today because I didn't sleep very well last night. But we're going to go and do, I think I've got a chest, tricep and bicep session. No, not bicep. Chest, triceps and delts, I think. So I'm going to go and do that now, and then I will decide whether I do cardio straight after or whether I do my cardio later. I've got all my steps I still need to get in. I have actually had a meal already this morning because I was hungry when I woke up this morning. My weight is already down like 1.5 kilograms from like 2 days. So I think I was 121 point something pounds today. First I was at 124 pounds. So we're definitely going to be heading in the right direction, and I think it's going to be quite a drastic cut because calories are a lot lower, like probably about 1,000 calories lower than what I was used to, and energy expenditure is obviously a lot higher because I haven't really been doing cardio other than like the odd CrossFit session. So I'm going to get a move on now. I need to pick some water up on the way to the gym. The thing I struggle with, probably one of the most actually, is my water intake. So 6 litres a day. Guys, if you know me, I pee every 5 seconds with like 1 litre of water, 2 litres maybe. So bathroom is always my best friend in prep. It's literally like I start doing steps and I need a wee like half the time, which is really annoying, so I always need to know where the next one is. Anyway, my eyes look really, really sleepy because I'm sleepy. I've actually started tracking my sleep with my Apple Watch. So last night it said I had like 5 hours of, hang on, let me show you. 5 hours of restful time. My sleep was very disturbed last night, so it was like 11.5 on the disturbed thing, which I don't really know what that means. I need to kind of look at it in more detail. But it says total restful sleep time was 5 hours and 5 minutes, which doesn't actually seem too bad for me. I feel like I was awake a lot longer than that. My total sleep score, if anyone knows any of these things, is 338, which is on the kind of low end of fair. Ideally, we want it to be excellent. So there's poor, fair, good, and excellent, and mine is kind of like the lower end of fair. So we definitely need to improve that. Sleep is and has never been my best thing, but I did talk about it yesterday. Maybe like nasal breathing. I think I have possibly been nasal breathing the last couple of nights. Before that, maybe I was just breathing from my mouth, and my mouth gets really, really dry. I'm like... Anyway, we're gonna go and do the session now, and then I will see when I get back. I have done a little bit of work this morning which I need to get done, so yeah, we're a bit later than we normally would be, but that's fine. We're gonna go and get some water. See you later. So this vlog is quite a bit of training. Obviously, as I said, I have got my new training program through, and that is obviously what I'm doing. So I started off with the cable lateral raises. Now this was actually meant to be the crucifix cable lateral raises, but unfortunately it was a bit difficult to get the bench into some of the cables when the gym's fairly busy. It wasn't too busy today, but I think the cables that I wanted to use were being used, and then the cable which was opposite this cable wasn't actually working. So alternatively, I actually ended up doing just a cable lateral raise. I actually find this a really nice effective exercise, and I do actually like starting with this exercise, so I was quite pleased that it was, you know, the first exercise in my plan today. After the lateral raises, I moved on to the pec deck machine. This is a machine I love, but I don't actually normally do pec flies with the pec deck. I normally do rear delt flies. So it's quite nice to actually have the pec flies in the training program. I could definitely feel it working the chest, probably because I hadn't done it and I did build up to a relatively heavy weight for me. Again, you can see I'm really focusing that time and attention, so nice and slow as the arms are coming to full extension, and then driving the arms in and really focusing on squeezing, contracting that chest as the arms come into the center. And I think I had 3 main working sets of this. A couple of the exercises I did have to change up the exercise order just because machines and things were being used, but I did obviously make sure that I did all the sets, I got in all the exercises, and I did everything to the best of my ability, really pushing at the end. After the pec deck, I moved on to the seated dumbbell overhead press. So again, I do sometimes do a seated shoulder press, seated machine shoulder press, but now I have a seated dumbbell shoulder press in my exercise program, and I like doing this exercise. I think when you're using dumbbells, sometimes obviously you have to focus a little bit more on technique rather than just pushing a load of weight. So obviously that's always a good thing. And then towards the end of obviously the sets, I was pretty fatigued, as you can see with the facial expressions. After that, I moved on to the tricep crossbody pushdowns. I really like doing this exercise. So this is where you actually have the cables crossing over, and then you're obviously focusing on fully extending the arm, keeping the triceps in isolation, and then filling the contraction obviously in the triceps. So I think I had about 3 sets of these again. My sets are varying with reps from like 6 to 10 reps in some of the sets, and then 10 to 15 in normally like the last set. So a bit of like a back off set. Then I moved into the incline Smith machine press, and I really do enjoy doing this exercise. I think the benefit of using the Smith machine is you get a lot more control. Obviously, if you're doing just a normal press, like a barbell incline press or a dumbbell incline press, you have to focus more on actually stabilizing the weight. Whereas with this, you're really focusing on just driving the weight up and then obviously contracting the muscles in the chest. I couldn't go too heavy because I do struggle towards the end of that set. So I think I added like 10s on each side. And then I moved on to the tricep extension with the rope. Again, a really nice exercise. Sometimes I prefer doing a tricep extension with a bar, but in my new program, I have it with the rope. So I do find it's quite nice that you're able to then pull the rope to the sides of the body a little bit more than if you're just using a bar. And sometimes I find the grip's a bit better in this position, because if you're using a bar, it's quite a rigid grip and it can be a little bit
finished the session number 2, which was chest, triceps and delts. It was a good session actually, and then I had to do cardio afterwards. So I've done like 20 minutes of 45 minutes I have to do today, and I need to get my 15k steps. So we're off to get some steps, but it's very, very humid today. We'll do something which is kind of good for walking, but very, very, very sunny. It's not too bad, but I'm going to have my meal post-work. I mean, I had one meal already this morning, so I've got oats, whey, chocolate, and I think raspberries to have. I do need to probably get some cookie pops or something because I can't really get cream of rice here, so it's meant to be cream of rice, but oats is going to have to do today. And I'm going to end the video here, but I hope you guys enjoyed the first video. The next video I think I will do a full day of eating. I have 2 different days. I think I said training day and non-training day, so whatever day it kind of falls on.
and enjoy the rest of your day, whatever time of day you are at, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!